I don't like feeling like a loser. That day, I felt like a loser, man. I felt like crap, man. That day was absolute survival. I was like second guessing myself. I'm feeling like I'm gonna freaking throw up everywhere right now. When I'm exhausted, I'm sensitive, man. Like I feel everything. You know, people are gonna chirp. I understand that now. Even if you're trying to do something good. In my head, it's like I have to walk the walk that I said I was gonna do.
This is The Long Run. I'm Sachin Latti, 48 years old, and I just ran over 3,700 kilometers across Canada, averaging 50 kilometers a day to raise awareness and funds for mental health. Along the way, we had thousands of conversations with Canadians, from first responders to everyday people, about what's really going on beneath the surface. This podcast isn't just about running, it's about resilience, purpose, and how we learn to keep moving forward in the long run.
How you feeling?
Good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Excited to get this started.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I think I want to thank everyone who's already watched the first episode. Pretty good traction so far and getting some good feedback on the first episode. So it's good, man. It's nice.
Yeah. Man, so today we're going to be talking about Vancouver Langley.
Yeah, man. I've been thinking about it after we chatted yesterday. I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, had to get my head back into that headspace because it wasn't fun, man.
Right off the bat, what do you remember of that day?
Surviving. That day was, for me, was absolute survival, man. I was like,
A couple guys coming out
off a
hanging
3
out
hours
for a bit
sleep,
of a run.
all the stress and
And we got the
pressure
team.
of the weeks leading up to it. And then I was already drained on day 2. And I was like, frick, man, like, what'd I get myself into? Like, what the hell am I doing? And like, I thought I was
then the
questioning
other
my
one.
training. I was like, did I train enough? That's where my headspace was. And I don't like feeling that way, to be honest. I don't like feeling like, a loser. And I almost was feeling like that day I felt like a loser, man. I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Now, I wasn't projecting that out to anybody. It was all of the conversations that were happening in my head. And in that moment, in that day, that's what I was feeling for most of the day.
We had 3 hours of sleep the previous night. It was a tough day.
Yes.
When you woke up,
Copy that.
what was the first thought in your head?
F this. Like, honestly, man, I was like, oh, man, I can't believe I have to get up and do this.
For 90 days.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing that was really messing with me. If it was just the one day, whatever, man, I can plug through, right? But I was like, man, I got to do this over and over again. And I didn't get any sleep. Is this going to be the way it's going to be for the rest of the time? Is it like, and there was external pressures happening too, right? And I was like, is this going to be the way it's going to feel the entire time? And I was like second guessing myself, man. Like for sure I was.
I didn't know if we wanted to talk about this getting in, but there was stuff that you were feeling on the day, but there was also stuff going around. People were chirping. How did that make you feel?
I felt like crap, man. Like, so people, and I was having a conversation yesterday with someone about this, like, and at the time I didn't really kind of recalibrate fast enough. But, you know, people are going to chirp. I understand that now. And even if you're trying to do something good, because they're looking at you from the lens that they have in their own mind, right? And, but having said that, I was like, for that first, not only that second day of the run, but for at least for the first 10 days, it was a lot of that, man. I was feeling, you know, people chirping, like saying, you know, some comments here and there that were, you know, starting to doubt myself in terms of like, did I make the right decision? Are we, you know, can't raise enough money? Am I able to run all this? Like all of these things, I started second guessing myself, and I don't like feeling that way. And for me, I was in my head most of the day. I didn't really even want to talk to too many people, but we had so many people coming out, so it was like, I was conflicted.
Yeah. We got off the ferry, got into Horseshoe Bay, It was really cool. Adam showed up.
Yeah, man.
That kid, that was really cool. And we had that other dude who showed up. I forget his name, but
Buzz
Bombs.
Yeah.
It was a nice little
whatever you
pickup
guys
in the
can do.
morning.
Okay, so I'll tell you exactly what goes through my head in a normal experience. What should happen is like, oh yeah, it's a lift up, right? Like we're feeling pretty good, and people are showing up, and in my head, I'm like, crap, man, I'm gonna look like a loser in front of these people. I'm gonna look like someone who can't even run. And look, Adam's an awesome kid, man, and he's a savage. Like that guy's like legit, way better runner than me. Absolutely, he's fast. He does triathlons, all the things. And so for me, I'm like, and he's like 20. And so, you know, little things like that go through my head, even though it may not be accurate, but that's going through my head. I'm like, man, I don't feel good. I'm going to have these people around me. They're going to think I'm not who I say I am or who I think I am and all that kind of stuff.
And coming to that, as we were getting into Vancouver, we met these amazing folks at Innovative Fitness, and
all these trainers. They're all fitness trainers, and we met up with them before the Lionsgate Bridge.
Yeah,
and they connected, and so you know, I'm talking, having conversation, doing the thing, and I don't think anyone really noticed, but we're going over the bridge. I'm coming off. I felt like I needed to throw up. Like I actually felt like, okay, I'm feeling like I'm gonna freaking throw up everywhere right now. But I didn't. I just kind of like, hey, let's take a minute. I think the RV was there, and we all kind of congregated around the other side of the bridge. And I just started drinking some water and getting hydrated again. And I was like, okay, feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
But like I did say to myself, okay, man, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I felt nauseous.
What does exhaustion do to a person? Where I'm coming from, you've been doing this for a while now, and let's not forget, you've been running for the last 5 years. You've been doing massive training blocks. But in your experience, what does fatigue do to you when you're running on less than 10 hours of sleep in 2 days, and you're aiming to do 200 kilometers? What does that physically do to you?
At least for me, I know for sure I was in a fight or flight kind of mental state in that moment, right? Because it wasn't so much the running, because the running it's not that, man. It's all the external things that are happening at the same time. It's all the what I put out into the world, and now people are watching. In my head, it's like I have to walk the walk that I said
I didn't get much last night.
And so those things are going through my head.
went to
Now
bed
I'm feeling like,
at 3 in the
man,
morning.
I'm exhausted right now. I don't know if I can do what I said I'm going to do. And so what that did for me is some people might not agree with this, but this is absolutely true, that I'm a sensitive person. Like I'm actually very, very sensitive. That's why for most of my life I put up walls so that I don't appear that way. But when I'm exhausted, I'm sensitive, man. Like I feel everything. I get very emotional. And when I say emotional, like I can cry very easily, man. And there were many days of crying on this run across Canada. And at the beginning, there were tears of like, not of joy. There were tears of like feeling the stress and the pressure of everything. Later on, there were tears of joy. But that first day was just fumes. The second day became real, right? And from second day to like probably the first couple weeks was just this kind of energy, and me trying to figure out how to do this over the extended period of time. So I needed to kind of play it in that area to understand, okay, how do I tackle this?
And knowing all of this it's not just you. All of us sort of felt a lot of that as the crew as well, getting in. But we wanted to show our best selves. We wanted to project strength. And there was something about that, I'm not going to say it didn't feel right, and it wasn't 100% authentic of what was happening to us as a team in that moment, because we were all really stressed out as well. We were getting into downtown Vancouver with a freaking huge RV, managing traffic, but we were also trying to get awareness and get as many eyeballs in. And I remember we put out a video that day. It looked really cool, and we got a lot of positive comments. And I remember thinking, fuck, this feels crappy. It doesn't feel fun. And obviously we're all trying to support each other as a crew, and that's why having such a good crew was so important. Everybody was positive and trying to be as positive as they could be. But I think all of us authentically at that time had a sense of like, freaking hell, dude, what?
Well, I think, I mean, you make a good point, right? Because like you kind of have to project strength and commitment to what we're doing, otherwise we wouldn't have done it, right? And you know, should I have been like bawling and like saying to everybody around me, man, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know, that's not the right way to handle it either. And so I was trying to put my best foot forward, and everyone else did, and I was feeding off of that too, right? Because like I can't, like in an environment, if everyone else around me is going to be negative, man, it's going to bring me down too. So I need everybody to kind of put their best foot forward, and everyone did. So that kind of fed me. I didn't see what others were feeling in that moment. Like I didn't, like you feeling something or Colin or someone else feeling something. You guys didn't allow me to see that. And that gave me strength.
Yeah, I think that was something that it was like an unsaid thing. Is we're feeling this way, but we're not gonna imprint any of that on Sach. We're gonna have our own discussions as a team and figure out how to crisis solve and figure out like these little logistical things. Like we didn't realize. I mean, we knew we had a route map, but what we didn't know for sure how difficult it was going to be to navigate, especially like downtown Vancouver, and then work logistics around it, figure out a quick plan of action. Jared was amazing in that way, being like, all right, I'm going to go up a couple of blocks ahead, park in a safe space, you guys give us. So we just all kind of went into that survival mode, but we all switched on and we're like, okay, how do we problem solve for the next 1 hour? Forget the whole freaking day.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to make it in Langley. But coming into Vancouver, that was about, downtown Vancouver was about 15K in. You were having a lot of conversations with people. Dr. Venter showed up, if you remember.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Dr. Venter showed up. He showed up with a bag of like Epsom salt gels.
Yeah.
To help out. And man, those are cool things to remember, man. Like when someone like that, he's an awesome doctor. He's well renowned in his space, and he wanted to support the run, and he came out with some of the staff members from Health Code, and man, and he had a bib on. He was wearing the bib that we kind of created for the on the website, and he printed it out and he taped it on.
The only guy who did it.
Yeah. Hey, man, listen.
We had this whole thing.
Yeah.
But coming back to those conversations, what do you remember from those conversations?
Everyone had a story. Everyone had something that they had gone through. That's why they were there. And some people shared some of those stories, and some of them didn't have to. I could just feel it. So I think part of it was they wanted to support the run, but they also, I think, wanted to support others and themselves in that run. Some people that I spoke to that day had family members that had taken their own lives. That was their one way, I think, to also be part of something, to raise awareness and funds for those types of people who are struggling with their mental health. And look, not all conversations were serious. I think the first couple of 3 hours or so were like, jovial and stuff. And then I was kind of running on fumes at that point. And then when we got out of the downtown area, then
the thing I remember about downtown, that's like going to be like one of those memories etched in my head forever, is on the crosswalk in front of the art gallery with the RV, we all jumped in and we took a group picture.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. And it was just the perfect moment. The light.
Yeah, like everything stopped.
Yeah.
We were in traffic.
Yeah.
And we all jumped in front of the RV, got a quick picture, and then bounced out, and the light turned green. So it was like perfect timing.
Yeah. Bouncing out of Vancouver, getting into Lower Mainland, what do you remember?
It was hard, that part, man, because like not as many people are around. Like I wasn't feeling good, man. My body was like not feeling good at all, and I was in my head the entire time. I didn't feel like talking to anybody, and I was like, how am I gonna make it to the end? You just gotta keep plugging away, just keep pushing forward, just one foot in front of the other is what I kind of kept repeating myself. And then bumped into Arjun.
Yeah.
I think it was in Burnaby area.
Yeah.
And young kid, maybe 19, 20, 21, something like that. And South Asian kid. And he wanted to join. He'd been tracking and following. And
Where did he come from?
he just got out of class. He was going to, I can't remember what school, but he just got out of school, man.
And he had this little backpack.
He had his
on.
backpack from school.
I remember thinking he looks like a little school kid.
Yeah, I mean, he is, essentially, right? And
you wanna- can you-
he showed up, and I go, hey, man. And he just started talking. He goes, hey, I want to join you. I was like, okay. And I said to him, I go, look, man, I can't really talk much right now. But feel free to join me however long you want to. And kept plugging away. And he stuck with me, like, kept sticking with me. And then Batu from Front Runners Victoria was in the area.
Yeah.
He swung by and caught me off guard. I was like, what the hell? Because I had my headphones on, and they kind of snuck up like a ninja. And but then we started chatting a little bit. And then Sophie, one of the owners from Gravity Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the jiu-jitsu school where I started in 2017, was just in the area with her daughter. So she came out to kind of, support. But for the most part of that was like me being in my head, just trying to get to the next spot. And that was probably, I don't want to say one of the worst feeling days, but it was, up there.
What I remember from that day specifically, as we were just coming out of Vancouver, this really high pressure situation, we met Arjun, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about Arjun. And what I remember about that kid was he had this quiet energy, just really positive. He was smiling all the time. He was like, he didn't take any water from us. He was like, I don't want to take any resources from you guys, because keep that all for Sach. And he stuck with you all the way to Langley, up until like 11:30 at night, where the dude was still smiling. Yeah. And when you talked about Batu and Sophie, it was like these little seeds of support that just started to filter in. And I remember talking to the team about this. I'm like, this is freaking cool, man. Like, these people are strangers. They just showed up out of the blue. They've seen something on social media, and they just want to support. For us, that started to give us a lot of positive energy. What was going on in your mind at the time? Did you see it that way, or was it just like...
As you're asking me the question right now, I probably didn't see it the same way. I think, and I'm, as you were sharing that, like just right now, I was thinking about that exact thing. And I think over the last 5 years, I've had that. So I almost think like I didn't recognize how awesome that was because I've experienced it. And every time that I've experienced it, I was in the moment of the thing that I was doing. So it didn't really internalize and value what actually was happening in that moment. Again, in that moment, I don't think I was capable or even able to kind of appreciate what that actually was and is, because I've like, it happened so many times before, but I wasn't present enough to value it in the way that you're mentioning it right now.
When you look back on it now, and there were times where we ran with 100 people, if you could go back and reframe that thought,
man, I would change it. I would want to absorb what that is, because it's funny, man. I've always felt like a loner, or not having many friends, or not connected to a lot of people. And when I had the opportunity to do it, I did my best to do it in those moments. But I think that's always been a challenge for me.
Yeah. It's hard to, especially in that, when you're in that shit and when you're in that storm, it's hard to see that people are there to support. But I think that's also an analogy for people struggling with their mental health today, where when you were in the pain cave and pushing through that day where you felt like throwing up, where you felt like a failure, where you felt like everybody hates me on the outside world and the world's against me and I have to fucking climb this mountain and get to Langley, even in that moment, we had people who showed up with kindness, who wanted to support. Yet in that moment, we didn't see it.
I think that doesn't make us bad though.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us wrong or anything. It just makes us appreciate, now that with hindsight we can reflect on it and really absorb it and take it in. And look, man, I think sometimes when you're doing something that's that intense, you kind of have to sometimes put those walls up so that you can keep doing the thing that you're doing. Because if I could, I'd probably just stay and talk and not move, right? Like have the conversation. Oh, let's hang out here for a bit and just have the conversation. But I was kind of being pulled in different directions. And so for me, the best way for me to move forward the way I knew how was to kind of not shut things off, but to allow for me to focus on the priority, which was one foot in front of the other, get to where I need to go. And in the opportunities where we're able to kind of have these conversations, have them. But again, I hadn't had that type of experience in the past, in the sense where I'm stopping to have conversations, because every single time in the past when I would do something, it wouldn't be engagement a great deal. But we evolved during the run and we learned how to do it better. So I got better at it. But day 2, I don't think I was prepared for that. And so it took me some time to kind of recalibrate and get into the right sort of frame of mind as we moved forward.
Yeah. Getting in past that in towards like Surrey area, sort of at that border, we still had about 30K to go. So at this point, 50K in, how are you feeling?
Honestly, I was, the tired was still there, but I started kind of hitting a second wind where I could move a little bit better, and then we had more people show up. But I started kind of normalizing where I was, started reflecting back on other training sessions and difficult and challenging ones, because that's what I was feeling in that moment. Like, I don't use the word pain, so I'm going to say discomforts, but so when I say discomfort, I'm actually talking that.
Why do you do that?
Because I don't want to give power to that feeling. And if I think about pain, then I'm going to be thinking about, oh, I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. Rather than taking control of the feeling and saying, oh, it's discomfort, and we can solve for discomfort. Right? If I think pain, then, at least for me, I'm thinking it's bringing me down. I don't know how to manage it. But if I say discomfort, it's just uncomfortable. We can work through it, and we find ways to kind of navigate through. So for me, I was in a lot of discomfort. And I was trying to remember other training runs that I had that I felt this. And so in previous training sessions I've had over the years, there would be times, I remember when I was doing a 60K a day challenge for myself, there were days where a lot of discomfort, my wheels would be like feeling it. And so what I started doing then was trying to make a connection to the discomfort and then to energy and power and moving. So anytime I would feel that discomfort, that response to my brain, I'd say, okay, absorb the pain, absorb the discomfort, keep going into it. And so I explored that for a while before this run. And then as I was feeling it on the run now, as we're going through Surrey, I'm like, okay, let's explore this. Let me lean into it. And so I started actually picking up the pace a little bit in certain portions and like pushing my body to run faster. And then as I was feeling discomfort, just saying, absorb it and then push harder. Absorb it, push harder. And so I did that in portions and I was like, holy crap, it's actually working.
Wow. So you were leaning into the discomfort, which is pain, more.
I was trying to normalize the feeling of it. So like, if I were to punch you right now, you'd be like, ow, that hurts. And you kind of like, you'll cower. Yeah. But if you're a fighter and you're getting punched in the face all the time, you get used to it. You normalize that hit. You know that you're not going to die. You know that, okay, that just hurts, or someone punches you in the stomach, whatever. It's normalized, right? So that you can continue doing it. So I was trying to normalize it to where I could sit in that space. All it is just really, lactic acid buildup, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Break it down. And then see if I can sit in it longer.
I see. Rather
than, let's say, a minute. Then maybe we can go 5 minutes. Like, that's kind of what I was trying to do anyways, the last little bit there.
Interesting. So as you were pushing through this period, where there was, and that was an extended period. As we were getting towards the evening, I think one of the coolest things happened was a bunch of dudes showed up and just started running with you. Arjun was still there.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they came from, how they showed up.
They randomly showed up, man. It tripped me out.
Yeah.
Tripped me out. Yeah.
And I think some of my favorite images from the run was from that day. That was really, really cool. And tell us about that.
Yeah, and a couple of them I recognized, and some of them I didn't even know who they were. Right? So for me, I'm like, why are they even here? Like, that's how messed I was, right? Like, I was in the hurt locker, man, at that moment, day 2. And so I'm like, why? What? Why they come out? And then some guys, that I was talking to, a couple of them, they're like, yeah, we came out, man. What you're doing is awesome. We want to come out and support. And it was cool, man. It was really cool. And then they just allowed me to do whatever I needed to do. They didn't say stop, slow down, or let's have a conversation, because I was getting close to the end here. I was like, man, I want to just get to the end state so I can rest, recover, and try to recalibrate for tomorrow. And they all kind of followed. It was cool, man.
Again, it was those little nuggets coming towards the evening. It just gave us the energy we really needed to collectively finish strong. Because I remember this time the team also was feeling it. Beatrice, a photographer who was with us, I think she ran like 20K that day, and also the previous day. So she was also a bit this Colum. Obviously, Colum's an athlete, but he was on his feet for a big portion of the day, carrying that big camera as well. And but just in those moments of people coming in, gave us that energy to push even more.
It's funny you mention it, man, because like I almost feel bad now, because like I didn't even think about you guys at all in that way. Like I didn't. Now that you're mentioning it, it's like I didn't think, okay, how are you guys feeling in this moment? Are you guys stressed out? Like I in that day I didn't think that, and so I guess that goes to kudos to you guys for not like even letting me know. Because had I known, I would have been like, all right, man, like, how do we fix this?
Yeah.
But you guys did a great job not letting me see that.
I mean, to be honest, though, like, for a big portion of the run, you were constantly also thinking about the crew. You were also constantly thinking about how can we do things better, specifically even for me, but for everyone else involved as well. So, I mean, I get what you were saying, but in that moment, you had to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You just had to, because
you
had to get through the day.
Yeah, and this is me just, that's just how I function, right? I'm like, oh, shit, man, I didn't think about you guys.
It's all good. But coming towards the end of the day, when the end was in sight, what do you remember of that day as we got into Sandman for that night?
It was dark. Sandman was like, I've said it before, but it was like an oasis in the desert. Right, just getting to the final destination. We were at the Sandman signature in Langley, and they were cool too, man. They were waiting out there too. Anyway, so we got there, and I wanted to just sit, and so I can't remember who brought a lawn chair out next to the RV, and I just sat down and started eating. I just wanted to eat. I wanted to chill. And then really kind of sort myself out so that I can get ready for the next day.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like people, actually, you know what? Let me slow down a little bit there, because also people showed up that weren't on the run or didn't show up during the day, but they showed up at the end state at that end of that day. And people I've met maybe once, or some people I'd never even met before. They came out and they wanted to show support, and they came and signed the RV. And I was just taking it in as I was sitting down, actually. So it was cool, man.
What I remember, especially when the day ended at the Sandman, Jared called in a bunch of his friends to help out. And they brought in like flats of water. And I think a friend of his got these emergency lights that became super useful later.
Yeah. I think that's his cousin.
Yeah, a relative.
Yeah.
It was really touching in that moment, being like, wow, these are strangers that we don't know, who made the effort to drive into a Walmart or wherever to pick up a couple of flats of water and haul it for us. And we're probably not going to see them again, but it was just the act of doing that where they demonstrated was just, I remember sitting there thinking, holy fuck, man, this is like, I feel like we don't deserve this. It's too much. It's too nice.
Yeah, and I can understand that feeling, but I think what I'm trying to take out of it is like, that's their way of serving what we're doing. So they're part of it too, right?
Exactly.
The funds that were raised, they have a hand in it. Every single person that supported, showed up, ran with me, ran with the crew, bought something, gave it to us so that we eat, drink. I mean, they all have a hand in that $216,000. It's not because I ran. It's because everybody else lifted me up or supported in some capacity. And even if they didn't bring anything, they were probably talking to someone about it.
Yeah.
Right? And that, for me, I think of it that way now rather than, oh, we don't deserve this. We don't deserve anything. But what we were trying to do is do something together to raise awareness and funds for other people. And that's what they were doing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. But in that moment, that's how I felt.
For sure.
In the grand scheme of things, every single person, whether you shared a post or commented or whatever, every single person had a hand to play. How did you sleep that night? Because you had a bed.
Man, I slept okay, but, you know, I still had to kind of get used to the discomfort, right? So, like, it probably was going to take a few more days, or it took a few more days for me to kind of get better sleep because my body was just beat up. And when I'm beat up, sometimes it's hard to sleep and you're sore moving and whatnot. So, but it was nice to have a bed at the hotel. It was nice. Not to say that in the RV, the bed wasn't great because I love that room too. But it's something different when you're at a hotel and Sandman, especially because there's such great supporters, and you know the space we had was good, man.
Yeah. I'm sure having Amelia there also was like a mental load off.
Well, for me, Amelia is a big part of a lot of what I've done over the last since we've been together, and really for the run. I mean, it's not her space at all. The ultra endurance world, running, all that kind of stuff. It's not her world. But she stepped up.
Okay, then you ordered
that's when I was just like,
kombucha.
Oh, yeah.
and that day she did. She supported whatever she could do to help me. She was doing it, and that was kind of her role, or at least how she looked at her role was like she didn't care about anybody else. She just wanted to make sure that I had what I needed to have.
Okay.
And
So
she would make sure that I would have those things if it was in her power. So it was, very supportive.
That brings us to end of day 2.
Yeah, man. End of day 2 was like, got it done, man. So that's another feather in my cap, to be honest. I've always known I was going to make it across the country. But in moments, you have doubts. In moments, you second guess from time to time. What was I doing to remind myself that I can do it? Is all the other stuff that I've done over the last few years allowed me to understand that I can plug through and do it. So yeah, there are moments and hours and maybe even days where I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. But what I've learned over the last 5 years of challenging myself at really excessive levels for me is that those things that are going through my head are just noise. I've already demonstrated I could do these things. So like running 60K a day for 2 months, I kind of demonstrated I can kind of do it at least for 2 months. So that gives me fuel to be like, okay, today was a bad day. Let's get to sleep, start again tomorrow. And this is where I started formulating how to continue the run across Canada. Okay, I'm only looking at day to day, maybe hour to hour, but day to day, I'm not thinking about tomorrow. And that took time to kind of get to, but ultimately I got to that place.
Yeah, you just take it one day at a time.
That's it, man.
1 hour at a time.
That's it. One foot in front of the other.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good place to end today's episode. Tomorrow, in the next episode, we get from Langley to Chilliwack.
Yeah, man.
And that was fun.
That was a good one. Popo. Yeah, it'd be a good one.
All right, you've been listening to the Long Run podcast. This is the story of Canada's longest run for mental health. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, see you in the next episode, and always forward.